Good morning. This is my first one of these that I've done. I'm extremely new to this streaming thing, as I said many times before. I started out on Twitch. I'm still starting out. I'm doing multi streaming on Kick and YouTube now. And I did it because I was seeing a pattern happening, just watching from at a glance that Twitch is having an issue enforcing their rules fairly. They do enforce their rules, but they don't do it evenly or even handedly, as I've been seeing. Now I don't know the nuances. I don't know all the moving parts. I don't know all that. I'm probably, if this takes off, I'm probably gonna investigate further and do more videos about doing that and finding out exactly why it is doing what it's doing. But what I am seeing is people are moving from just streaming solely on Twitch to streaming on multiple different platforms, which is something I am doing now too. One of the creators I've been following is Tectone. His vernacular, his presence, his persona are not as very similar to my own. I have a military background. I'm a retired veteran, disabled, retired. So that's why I'm 30 and I'm retired, if anyone's wondering. I got hurt. So I'm doing this now as a hobby. It'd be nice if it took off in a career. He creates good content. He has been banned a couple times. I don't know the nuances as to why, but he was banned recently. And this is going to be my first ever reaction video. And I want to see what he has to say. And diving into this, I want to make sure I'm going in with an open mind and people understand that I am not picking a side. I am just looking to see what are the facts. And in fact, let's definitions are important. A fact to me is something that is proven by the person making the assertion. Okay, so if you say A, you better show me how you got A by adding B and C. That's what I mean when I say you make a factual statement. Okay? During this, if any words are used that are left without a definition, I will look at the definition and put them up for us so we can see what was said and what was true. If you have any comments or any advice, please leave them in the comments. If you have anything to say negative about me, that's fine. I will not ban you for disagreeing with me. The only things you will ever get banned from my channel are for trying to get people to do illegal actions, racism, calls to violence, and calls of sexual assault. Those things will get you banned from my channel, and I will never want to hear from you again. I will not ban someone for disagreeing with me. It is your right to come in here and tell me to go fuck myself, and I support you doing it. So let's get into this.
Well, boys, look where we're at once again. Yep, you read the title right. I have been banned for the third time
Did he change his keyboard color? I could have sworn he had a different keyboard color.
in about 60 days. This one looks like it's going to be my longest ban yet. Yes, it looks like I will be banned for 7 long days on Twitch. Will they let me appeal it? I don't know, but I assure you when I tell you why I've gotten banned, man, I bet you're gonna think, wow, that's completely justified. Wow, that really makes sense. Yeah, it definitely won't be hypocritical and preferential treatment towards people on the far left once again. Yes, if you want to do me a favor, I will be streaming every single day at 9 a.m. CST on YouTube and Kick. Kick especially, I'm going to be linking in my description and the pinned comment. A
Yeah, that's
follow
why he
on
changed
that
his keyboard
stream
color.
would be genuinely,
I like it.
incredibly
It's
helpful
petty
as
and I
far
love
as
it.
tune into the YouTube live stream. And the most important thing, please subscribe to my channel and turn the bell on for all notifications. This has been the most successful past 75 days of my career ever. I have gained over 80,000 subscribers in a short 70 days. I am upcoming on 900,000, and you know what comes next? 1 million. It's been a dream of mine for over 7 million to eventually hit that number, and it's crazy because I think it actually might finally be attainable. For 7 years, I've been trying to get this, and it's thanks to a lot of people like Asmongold who shouted out my Kick channel, and I gained 8,000 follows in 5 minutes, which was insane. Hasanabi for being a perpetual dumbass and allowing me to farm him for the past 3 weeks and
I haven't watched any of Hasanabi's content. I don't know the nuances of it. I've only seen shorts that show up on my feed. All right. From what I can gather, I do not agree with that man on pretty much anything.
gaining over, I think I've gained about 25,000 subs off of just Hassan content alone, which really isn't that much, but it still is quite nice. And most importantly, just the overall perpetual cycle of retards on the internet that I get to make content of every single day. Because here at twitch.tv/Tectone, youtube.com/Tectone, kick.com/Tectone, we make a living off of making fun of dumb people. It's great. Now, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Please like the video, please leave a comment, and share this with your friends. And by the way, if you are a streamer reacting to this or a YouTuber reacting to this, I fully consent to this and I greatly encourage it. And I really appreciate you sharing some light on the absolute hypocrisy of Twitch. Now, with all that plugging,
I really appreciate him saying that. That's awesome for little guys like me or little ladies who are on the same level as myself. It's awesome to know that I will not have to worry about somebody coming through and doing a copyright claim. This man clearly means what he says, and I hope that he continues to do so.
out of the way, the sheer stupidity of this all is truly mind-boggling. So I want to walk you through the first time I ever got warned. So to remind you guys, the first time I ever got banned was me saying that Denim's only good content was on her OnlyFans and nobody should consider her worth listening to, which
Ah, I don't know if that's against the terms of service.
to be honest, it was a little bit mean, but where's the lie? The second time I got banned was, and this one I believe it was the second or the third. I'm trying to remember. The first time I ever got banned, I believe, was for telling a Twitch chatter to kill themselves. Which, to be completely honest, that was completely justified.
Okay, he is right. That is completely uncool and unjustified for him to say that. Is 100% appropriate for them to ban him for that, and I agree for that. But even more importantly, to all the young men and young people out there watching this man is admitting his fault, taking credit for his actions, and apologizing for it and doing it so sincerely. Something that is very lacking, especially in the online community, and especially with the terminally online. This isn't a right or left thing. Everyone does it. People have a hard time admitting when they're wrong. I struggle with it still to this day. But this man's willing to do it in front of his hundreds of thousands of followers. Maybe try doing it in your personal life too, because there's never been a time when all of us have been 100% right. I appreciate him making the effort to come out and blatantly say he was wrong for something he did and not hide from it. That's a boss move right there. Good job.
I was reacting to anime. I told them to put a shotgun in their mouth and kill themselves. And to be fair, totally reasonable. I absolutely wear that wear that ban as a badge of dishonor because I went over the deep end that day. I was very grumpy, to be fair. And I had a really big tummy ache too, but I have not ever told a chatter to kill themselves since then. I have learned from my mistake. Now, the next time I got banned was me calling everybody's favorite streamer, Frogan, fat. Now, I want to remind you that
Is she? Not sure who Frogan is.
Frogan is roughly 5'2" and roughly 300 pounds. So I got.
Well, I think this is a thing we're going to have to look up. Let's check it out. Mm, she's not particularly large, from what I can see. From what I can see, I don't understand. Yeah, she's perfectly.
Banned
I don't see an
for a
issue with him calling someone
descriptor.
fat.
I
That's
called Frogan fat. I get banned for 2 weeks.
I feel
It
like it's
gets
a very.
appealed down to.
They banned him for 2 weeks for calling someone fat. That's ridiculous. That's preposterous. Did she say anything negative about him? I wonder. I'm sure she did.
2 days and 18 hours, roughly. And by the way, this is after her saying that all American soldiers
There it is.
deserve PTSD, and as well as America deserve 9/11.
I'm gonna start out by saying, as a service member, That does irritate me. But if she's an American citizen, it is her right to say retarded shit. It's her right to say stupid fucking things like that. I think she has no perspective as to what veterans go through, especially active duty members in today's military go through. And I highly doubt she has any idea what the previous soldiers, sailors, marine, and airmen have gone through to make this country what it is. And not just America, all the soldiers around the world have gone through the same battles, the same issues. They've been on opposing sides, but they all did what they thought they was doing was protecting their home. At least that's what I thought when I joined the military. And for her to say, if it's true that she said that, that is, in my opinion, just absolutely ridiculous. It is mean. It is just ill-hearted. And I believe she probably said it for pure shock value. Now, is that a personal slight against Tectone? No, it's not. It's not a personal slight against me because I am a veteran. I did my time active duty, but that is not a personal attack against me. And when I went and served, I served for everyone's right to say whatever the fuck they wanted to say. That doesn't mean I have to like it. I think her saying that is absolutely disgusting. But if it's not against the terms of service, I guess she doesn't get banned for it. But as far as the hoping they get PTSD for it, I have PTSD. It's truly awful. I know a lot of people have PTSD, and I've lost quite a few friends to the sickness of depression and PTSD. I do not believe Rogan understands what she's saying when she says these things. After this video, I might go react to that to see it firsthand, to see exactly what was said.
Yes. Oh, by the way, she didn't get banned for that. Now, let's talk about why I got banned this time. Well, it's actually due to two streamers, not one but two. And this is great. So, here it is, 7-day suspension for sexual requests, graphic or derogatory sexual statements, or unwanted sexual content. And you might be wondering, oh, techie, what did you do? Derogatory sexual
Sexual requests, graphics, or derogatory sexual statements, or unwanted sexual content. Violation, advocating trauma towards others. Oh, that's his old band. Okay, that's his old band. This is the current band. Sorry, I've never been banned on Twitch, so I don't know what this. This is my first time seeing this portal. Sexual requests. So that would be him requesting illicit materials from somebody. Graphic or derogatory sexual statements. That's very broad. It's extremely broad. And unwanted sexual content. Well, that's entirely subjective. That's entirely subjective on whoever watches this video. Anyone can come to my video and say that because I said the word fuck. That that's it. It's extremely broad for them to make this the violation. It's the only thing that is direct is the sexual request portion. So this could happen to anybody. That's a bad policy in my opinion.
statements or unwanted sexual content. And you might be wondering, oh, techie, what did you do this time? Well, there are two streamers who have been really talking about me for months. Actually, what's crazy is talking about me for years. And their names are Denims and Minks. Yep. Oh, man, you know where this is going,
Don't know
guys.
who that is.
So this is a whole clip
Okay.
of Denims mocking my trauma about worrying
Oh,
about
she's
my
putting
father
this on her ex?
when I told a story about how when
No,
he
no,
was
someone else
deployed,
is.
he got his legs, the skin of his legs completely blown off, as well as his ear cut off in the war, and her laughing in my fucking face
Probably the Korean
and
War.
saying that he fucking deserved it and that I probably made up the entire story. That's the first clip. Here's the second one. This is Denims calling me a sexual predator.
Wait, she said his father deserved to get the skin blown off his legs. Did I hear that correctly?
Here's the second one. This is
Sorry.
her laughing in my fucking face and saying that he fucking deserved it and that I probably made it off in the war, and her laughing in my skin of his legs completely blown off, as well as his ear cut off in the war, and her laughing in my fucking face and saying that he fucking deserved it and that I probably made up the entire story. That's the first clip. Here's the
Sorry, that strikes a nerve for me as a veteran. That strikes a nerve. I've seen a lot of injuries in my day. I was yeah, that was hard to hear that she would react like that. That's rough.
Second one. This is Denims calling me a sexual predator on Kick. Very far.
Has he been convicted of anything? Has he ever been? Has he ever even had a court case? No, there's been no formal inquiries by any law enforcement agency into Tectone about any kind of sexual assault allegations. So I don't, if from what I'm seeing, this is just at a glance, a quick Google search, and it's all just actually the two people he's talking about making these allegations, and then other people following with suit. So I don't understand why people feel comfortable making allegations like this. But let's hear what Tectone has to say.
On to a total of time of recording 47,000 people. But if we go further, it actually reached 1 million people. And trust me, Denims and I have a very shady history because
47,000 initially, and then a million people, all who are fans of hers, more than likely. And she's telling people that this man committed sexual assault and battery. I don't know if battery is part of it. I have seen the repercussions of false allegations. It is a terrible thing for let's start out with this. Sexual assault has no place in my orbit. It's disgusting. I believe people who commit sexual assault should be punished to the highest degree. That being said, in my short 31 years, I have seen way too many men's lives be destroyed, careers lost, college athletes going to the NFL, NHL, and all these places completely destroyed by the mere notion that this could have happened to them. Some of them even locked up and sent to prison for decades before their redemption is heard. And then once it's over, they can't get that time back. I've even seen it in the military. I saw the MM1. That's an E6 for you who are not. It's an enlisted first class petty officer. Fantastic leader. Loved his sailors. Would never do anything to hurt them. Put himself in dangerous situations to keep them safe. Wonderful man, but he was fair, and he demanded everybody do everything equally. He was 100% equal across the board. There were two women in his division, and he treated them just as rough and just as good as the men in the division. And he expected them to perform at the same level. And that was his fault, because those two women decided to turn around and accuse him. And in the military, when you make an accusation, then an investigation is opened up, depending on who you go to. They accused him, and this was a 3-month investigation. And that very notion, that very idea, destroyed his reputation on that ship. I'm not going to tell you what ship, I'm not going to tell you what name. I don't need this man's information being out there. But this man had a wonderful career, at least 13 years in the Navy, on the fast track, about to be a chief petty officer, which is extremely difficult to do. And this cost him that. He passed the test. He was eligible for board, and somehow the board got wind of this allegation, and he was not picked to be chief petty officer. After that, he never made chief, even though he was exonerated and the allegations were found unfounded, and that there was no evidence of this. And this woman, by the way, went on to accuse two more of her bosses in the next 3 years of this, because she just wanted to be lazy. I knew the sailor. She was lazy. She didn't want to take out the trash. She didn't want to work. She wanted to treat every underway as if it was a fucking pleasure cruise. She's not evil. She's not a bad person, but what she did is evil. Making false allegations against anyone is evil, and it should never be accepted. And that should be something that is bannable. If it's proven that what they're saying is false, that should be bannable. But you should not. There should be a rule that if you're going to come out and make an allegation, you better fucking be able to prove it, because you can destroy someone's life, and this is not okay.
I don't know why this woman is absolutely obsessed with me. Now, here is Denims once again calling me a rapist and saying I can't sue her because it's not defamation, because in her words, I did that shit.
The reason Tectone can't sue me is because he did that shit.
And there's a whole
That is not how that works. You don't just get to say, I did that or that person did that shit without providing evidence, context, and all this. You don't just get to make that is a statement of fact. That is a statement of fact. Now, as far as defamation comes, I'm pretty sure Tectone would have to prove that she knew she was lying, which is that's the hard part when it comes to defamation of a character when it comes to the lawsuit. So I wouldn't even think it's worth um, pursuing in court because that's almost impossible to prove with someone who's as dishonest as possible. I'm not saying Denham's, if that's her name, is dishonest, but I am saying she is stating a fact to her audience or presenting it as a fact without providing any evidence whatsoever. And I can't find any. I'm googling it right now. It's on my other monitor. I don't see nothing. So that's completely unreasonable.
Whole bunch of other goodies in that clip. Yes, I want to let you know that this woman is so obsessed with harassing me that she is now at the point where she knows that she might need lawyers in the very near future for slandering my name and defaming me on a daily basis. Yes, a woman who has gone live and attempted to call me a criminal, call me a rapist, tell me my father deserved to have his legs blown off and his ears cut off, which, by the way, she also calls my father a rapist as well, which is crazy because if you look into the court documents, the only thing that happened, there was no rape whatsoever. So once again, also lying on the truth. I've also shown documents of that on my Twitter. And the other woman is...
I'm not going to look into that because his father isn't a public figure. Tectone is. I don't think it's fair to attack family members of people. I believe in staying on subject and going after. If I'm going to go after somebody or if I'm going to talk about someone, I'm going to talk about that person. I'm not going to attack their family members. That's completely out of the pale. The sins of the father do not go to the son, just like I don't believe in debt transfer to family members. I don't believe in sin transfer. That's not how it works. Just because you had a bad parent doesn't mean you can't redeem your family's name. I'm not saying Tectone's father was bad. I'm not gonna even address it. I'm gonna judge Tectone by what Tectone does and what Tectone says. Same thing I'm gonna do for Denims and the other person and the Frogan person when I go look to see what they had to say.
Is another woman, Minx, known alcoholic,
Minx, that's her
known
name.
drug abuser, known schizo, goes live on Twitter.
Okay, so those are some allegations. She said alcoholic, drug abuser, and schizo. Let's start with drug abuse. Let's see what pops up. Street streamer known as Just a Minx. Here's a summary of what the research indicates about her abuse. Church would also discuss her addressing her drinking habits with some concern, expressing about her not taking it. I'm just gonna. This is just what's popping up. Minimize the issue. There's a mention of her defending her past drinking as weekend binge drinking. Led to her losing her Twitch partnership. Search results also mention a YouTube video describing how her career was impacted. So, Jeanston, glamorization of addiction. Suggest a broader conversation about addiction and the portrayal of the online world. It's important to note that these primarily reflect discussions and reactions from online platforms like Reddit and YouTube. Do not provide comprehensive or official account of Jinx's situation. Okay. How do I say this without stating as a fact? I would say that does not prove what Tectone is saying, but that leaves enough suspicion for him to say what he is saying. He may know more. I don't. Am I going to go out and say she's a drug addict and alcoholic? No. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that because I haven't delved into it. Clearly, Tectone has. Clearly has been experienced as he's been in this game a lot longer than me. He's probably done more research about this than me. So, do I agree with him presenting it as a fact? No. No, I do not. Do I think he's a bad person for doing it? No. It's his right to say whatever he wants. These people are out here calling him a fucking rapist and a pedophile. He has every right to fucking defend himself. If they want to throw shit at the wall, see what sticks, so can he. If they don't get banned for it, why should he? Let's continue the video.
And says, reminder, Tectone's dad is a rapist, and that I also have sexually assaulted 2 women, according to her.
Completely unfounded. There's no court documents that I can find showing that. Completely unfounded and unacceptable. That is the kind of language that ruins careers and ruins lives.
Another woman who is accusing me of crimes. Oh, and trust me, this woman is so deranged, she believes that she's lived with me.
Seems like you drank too much alcohol and your ability to reason has been compromised. Oh, X is wild. Why are you acting like you know him personally? I lived with him. Now that is interesting. If he wants to sue her for defamation, that is a statement of fact. He might have a case there. I'm no lawyer, but I'm saying she is outright listing as a fact that this is something that she experienced firsthand, or she somehow has firsthand knowledge, and she's using that to extend the reach of her claims against him. Didn't you try to undermine Crazy Slick's assault? Oh, okay, we're not talking about that.
I want to remind you, I've met Minx one time at the OTK Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, where I joined OTK. I have met her one time. Since then, I have lived with minimum a partner, a wife, or a roommate, or a girlfriend throughout my entirety of living here. Never once have I lived by myself. I have always had someone living with me the entire time I've been down in Austin. And this woman is so deranged that she thinks that I lived with her. Now, I don't know what gorgeous bald man with a beautiful beard she must be having sex with on a daily basis in her STD-ridden pussy to think that it's me. But I assure you, I have never lived with this woman. I don't even know this woman outside of a one-time interaction where there was 50 other streamers there. Now, you might be wondering, why did I get banned for 7 days on twitch.tv/Tectone? Why did Twitch deem me worthy of a 7-day ban? Because I called them whores. Yep, I called 2 women with OnlyFans whores.
So let me get this straight. They can call him a sexual abuser. They can call his father a rapist. They can say all these terrible things about him. But because he called someone who may not be fat, and because he called 2 people who are OnlyFans girls whores, he gets banned for 7 days and nothing happens to them. Let's treat this like any other idea. Let's treat this like any other thing. He's calling them a whore, presenting it as a fact. So let's look up the definition of what he means, because definitions are important. There's a lot of people running around nowadays saying words and using words and having no fucking idea what they're talking about. Definition of whore. Definition of whore. Noun, plural noun, whores. A person who is willing to do anything for a particular thing. Offensive definition. A third person whores, past tense. She was work as a prostitute. Okay, so let's pull that up. Let's check that out. It's an expansion of the word prostitute. A person and particularly a woman who engages in sexual activity for payment. Okay. Is and I already know the answer. Anyone can make service is widely known for being popular with sex workers who produce pornography. I would say OnlyFans is without a doubt sexual activity. So with a person who does an OnlyFans meets the definition, not just women, men who do it as well, meet the definition of prostitute. Therefore, they clearly meet the definition of whore. So yes, those 2 women are in fact whores. Intellectually speaking and factually speaking.
Which is, by the way, by definition, a factual statement.
He's right.
OnlyFans girls who are sex workers are prostitutes. Prostitutes are whores.
I don't judge people who do OnlyFans. It's a billion-dollar industry. The pornographic film industry is a billion-dollar industry. I fucking, come on, dude. I was in the military for 12 years and I'm retired from it. Of course, I've watched porn. Of course, anyone's done this. Yes, everyone partakes in it. Everyone does that. I do not think any less of these people for doing it. But you are just like someone wants to call me a veteran. It's a title that fits. Clearly, whore fits that title. Get over it. You chose it.
Whores are prostitutes. Prostitutes are sex workers. I got banned for 2 weeks for calling a fat person fat. I got banned for 7 days for calling a whore a whore. And now, I'm sorry if that terminology upsets you, but the problem is that doesn't make it any less true. And the reality is, when I go live and I tell the truth and I get banned for 7 days, and then you have these same women where I am only calling that out of defense. I'm only calling them that out of defense because they have provoked me by accusing me of crimes that I have not committed whatsoever. Going in on allegations that went fucking nowhere almost a year ago now. I think it's pretty reasonable if I call them a name or two. So I want to let you guys all know this. This is the same website where Hassan calls me a rapist, where Hassan calls Nuxtaku a pedophile, who calls Mudahar a pedophile, who calls Asmongold a pedophile and a mother killer, bringing up Asmongold's dead.
So I don't know much about this Hassan person or any of these people really. But if you have to hurl accusations, if you have to make crazy and wild claims of someone else's indecency, usually that means more often than not you're losing a fucking argument. I've been in a lot of arguments in my day. I've won a lot of arguments and I've lost a lot of arguments. And one thing has always been true. Whenever you are winning or losing an argument, one of the easiest flight or fight responses that people get is for them to sit there and say, try to assault your character, to do a character assassination of you by making crazy and wild insults. This is a weak tactic. This is a tactic of a very weak person who is weak intellectually, who is weak spiritually, who is weak emotionally. Because they have run out of ammo to assert their opinion. And this falls into a deeper thing of people not wanting to admit when they're wrong. If you're wrong, I promise you, admit it and it will feel better. And always be willing to change your mind. The easiest way to do that is operate on facts and what can be proven. And then use the rest of your energy on what has yet to be proven. That's what people should make their opinions on. Hurling insults at a man because you don't fucking like him, or because he gets more video likes than you, or because he's raising your popularity and you're sinking. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I have no idea. But it's not okay. It's weak. It's not helping. And it's just honestly just sharing that belief that you can get away with anything. You fucking can't, dude. You can't just be an asshole all the time and expect people to like you.
Mother, no ban, no punishment. Mike from PA calls me a pedophile, calls Nuxtaku a pedophile, calls Asmongold a pedophile, calls him a murderer, no ban. Calls for the death of Asmongold, no ban. Denims, who is also called for the death of Asmongold, no ban. Hassan, who has radicalized his audience to supporting terrorism, no ban. Frogan, who supported 9/11, no ban. I call an OnlyFans girl a whore after she called me a rapist. A career-ending, life-ending accusation. They get no punishment. I get 7 days. Do we get why this is a problem now? Do we understand why this is bad? And sure, could you make the argument, well, he deserved it? Sure. But Twitch, I wouldn't have to make these comments if you guys would do your fucking job. If you guys were to ban people equally and fairly when they cross the line, then I wouldn't think that I can do the same thing as the rest of these fucking people. I suppose.
He makes a good point there. If everything he just said is true, that all of those people did all those things, which I do not know, I'm not saying they did. If any of it's true, they should have been banned as well. If Twitch is refusing to use its terms of service fairly, then its terms of service don't matter, and that opens them to lawsuit. I actually think they are being sued for that. I might be wrong on that, but we've all seen injustice. We've all seen people who do rules for thee but not for me scenarios. I saw it in the military, I saw it all the time, and it poisons the well. It poisons the well, and that's probably why a lot of streamers are multi-stream. They're not fully abandoning Twitch. Some are, but that's why they're multi-streaming on Kick, and that's why they're multi-streaming on YouTube and X. I'm gonna start streaming on X because you reach a wider audience, and there's really no benefit to being on a platform that doesn't enforce its rules fairly, because the day your opinion becomes unpopular, you become the primary target for scrutiny. You became the primary target for being beaten down while everyone else is lifted up, even though they're breaking the rules and you're not. And that not only diminishes the return of investment, that also sets advertisers aren't going to want to participate when it's blatantly proven and obvious that you are biased. They're not going to want to see they're not going to see any growth in new rising stars. There's going to be people wanting to just start somewhere else, or then there's going to be your current stars leaving and taking their audience with them. Millions of people being millions of dollars in revenue just gone like that because you don't want to enforce your rules properly. Now, I know there's some allegations, there's some weird things going on with Dan Clancy and all these people on Twitch and executives singing happy birthday to certain people and doing all this stuff. At the end of the day, if Twitch wants to save this platform, they really need to just start at square one. And square one, I recommend, is enforcing your rules fairly. They will get a lot more advertisers, they will get a lot more new talent, and they will get a lot more trust if they went out and just said, hey, these people all broke the rules at a certain point. We did not ban them fairly. We did not enforce the rules on them. We're sorry. Maybe a retroactive ban would not be fitting for that kind of thing, but maybe a statement just saying that we fucked up. And from here on out, all is forgiven. But if you fuck up, or if you break our rules from here on out, you're done. And starts bringing down the ban hammers from that day on. That's what I think Twitch should do. And I think that would save them a lot of heartache and a lot of streamers leaving.
I'm a martyr. I suppose I can once again get punished for the wrongdoings of everybody else, and maybe that will put the fear in them to get their act together. But it won't, because these people know they can get away with these misdeeds, with these malpractices, because you don't enforce your TOS fairly. You do not enforce your TOS equally. And this is why I will be streaming on Kick and YouTube every single fucking day during this ban. Again, this is pathetic rat fuck behavior. And Twitch, I would like to let you know now, 24 hours ago, I have already recruited over 55 streamers to stream on YouTube and Kick. It has now been 72 hours, and I have now recruited over 110 creators to stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. This is not a good look for you guys. This is a horrible look. You should be ashamed, because you know this shit is unfair. You know this shit is bullshit, and you can't have a TOS where you do not enforce it equally amongst all creators. And this is the reason why you guys are getting fucking sued. And now you guys know
they are getting sued.
That these people in a court of law can use me as an example of you guys unfairly, once again, misusing your TOS. I call these women a name as an insult when...
Which, in fact, they did meet the definition of. They do.
They are giving me life-ending, career-threatening allegations and accusations.
Which they did on video multiple times.
This is the reason why so many male creators have disappeared over false allegations. You guys need to take this shit seriously. It's pathetic, and you guys should be ashamed. Now, I'm going to be over here on YouTube and Kick making way more fucking money than I ever made on your platform, regardless. And Twitch, I want to let you know, in 3 days, I have now made more money on Kick than I made in a month on streaming on Twitch.
Good
I
for
do
you.
not give a fuck about the money that I'm losing off of Twitch
Good
at
for
all.
you,
I don't
bud.
need it. I'm a multimillionaire. However, just
That'd be nice.
understand I'm not going away. And in 7 days, I will come back and I will continue to showcase the hypocrisy and the blatant abuse of power being used by your moderation team that is treating your streamers like shit unfairly, besides the one you like. You should be ashamed. The best way to get revenge if you are upset on Twitch right now is to share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and be there every single time I go live, so I can be a constant reminder of how this platform keeps on getting fucking worse. What a fucking joke. May God have mercy on your soul. Have a wonderful day.
That was very well done. As far as statements of, I'm sure he was angry, but he handled it eloquently-ish. But he was matter of fact to the point, and he provided the fucking receipts. All right, that's not something a lot of people do. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I do stream on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. I'm gonna expand my stream to X. Right now I'm playing Once Human. But if you got any ideas you want to comment, even if you want to tell me to come in, tell me to go fuck myself, go right ahead.